Hi there, this is Tammy with Tammy's Stamping Therapy. I have seen a few videos in the last couple weeks regarding making rosettes, and they were making rosettes using dies. I recently bought the Tim Holtz rosette die set, and I just tried it this morning. So these are the dies, or these are the rosettes that I made. And they're a lot of fun because they have different shapes. And it's interesting, Susan Tootsie Tucker was talking about making projects using different paper packs. All of three of these papers are from different paper packs, and I didn't pull them out this way on purpose. I was just looking for scraps that were the size I needed, and they all go together. So that was really cool. So that's what the top of each die looks like. And then this is the other side. So the back sides of the paper don't go as well together as the other sides of the paper do. So this is what these dies look like. What is it called? It's this die set, which is, I don't see where it says anything other than Thinlits. Oh, here it is. Rosette set. It's the Tim Holtz Rosette set, and it comes with these dies with 3 different sizes of circles that you can also die cut. And there's the baby one, and then it comes with these 3 dies. The only downfall to these dies is that they're a set length or width. So you can't make rosettes that are any bigger than this. You could make them smaller because you could cut your paper shorter, but this cuts right here, this edge. So you couldn't make them that are any bigger with these dies. You could make them a lot fuller. You could cut each of these. I did using just one piece of paper. You could cut 2 of each, and it would make these dies a lot fuller. But you can't do them any wider. This is the perfect size for most reasons, or most uses for rosettes. This one was a little bit challenging because when you're putting it together waiting for the glue to dry, you have to push in, and so I was bending some of my little tips. This one was kind of like that too, and you can't really tell with this paper. But these were the 3 rosettes that I made using a die. So until few weeks ago, I didn't even know there were dies for rosettes, and last December I made a video showing how to make a Christmas tree with rosettes, and I will link that video below, and I'm going to show you how I make those. So here's one I did this morning. And it's just scoring the paper and folding it yourself. It has a straight edge. If you had like a scallop border punch, you probably could use that. This one I scored at 1/4-inch intervals, and this is one sheet of 12-inch paper that is 7/8 of an inch wide. So I have another piece here, and I'm going to show you how I make it. That one I did 1/4-inch intervals. This one I'm going to do 1/2-inch intervals so you can see the difference. Excuse me. So this is a Stampin' Up! Simply Scored scoring board. When I'm making rosettes, I don't start at usually when I'm scoring, I start at the left and work my way out. When I'm making rosettes, I start at the right and work my way in, and that's because it's even measurements. And as you score, it kind of curls the paper a little bit, and I don't want it to alter my measurement for the next one. So I keep this butted up against here. I'm going to do 1/2-inch increments. And this one's going to look a bit different than the other one that I did that's 1/4-inch increments. One of the awesome things about the Tim Holtz dies is the way that it scores. It kind of perforates, and it's much easier to fold than this is going to be. Did I get? Yeah, I did. And this isn't the best paper because I can't see my score marks, but so I'm done with this. This is Stampin' Up's Take Your Pick tool, and a very good friend of mine gifted this to me. And there is a Stampin' Up demonstrator who does engraving. So this has my name on it. This tool has a score, a stylus, 2 different sizes of stylus. It has another piece that I don't know where it is right now, that has a paper piercer on one end and a little spatula on another end. And then the reason it's called the Take Your Pick tool, I think, is because mine's all gummed up. This is like a little jewel picker. You can pick up gems and stuff with this. It's like gummy stuff. So this is an awesome tool. I use it mostly for scoring. Let's see. Sorry. My frame here was sitting on my glue sticks. So I've done the scoring, and then what I'm going to do is fold. And this, doing it this way, it's not going to end up perfect because this is paper. I use the bigger end of the scoring tool because the smaller end might tear the paper. So these score marks actually have width to them, which means this is not going to fold perfect, but it's not going to matter. So I'm just accordion folding it. It's much easier with 1/2 inch than it was with a 1/4 inch. With a 1/4 inch, I was having a hard time doing these folds. So you can see it's way far from perfect, but that's okay. And then I'm going to stick this together. This actually ends up one too many. I'm going to put tear and tape on one end of this. I will go like this. So this is the tricky part, especially with one this little. It's only one, it's one strip of paper. It would be much easier if I had used 2 strips, but I didn't. So where did my, oh, here. I've cut out these little, I punched out these little circles. This is a 1 1/8 inch scallop circle punch. And with the small one, well, with all of them, it's a little tricky, but you're just going to fold it all into the middle, and you're going to hold it there while you add some hot glue. Stand up. And then put this on top. Actually, with the size of this, I should have used a much smaller one, because this is going to cover up a lot of my rosette. But and then you just hold it till the glue dries. And you'll see in the video where I made the Christmas tree, my rosettes go from a 1/2 inch strip of paper up to, I think, 3 inches to make them graduatedly, to graduate the size so that they make a nice tree. This is what the back side looks like. It's still warm, so the glue's not quite done yet. You can see the difference. These are the same diameter, but you can see the difference in the rosettes. When you're making bigger rosettes, this deeper score is fun. With the smaller rosettes, it seems like this works a little better. It also depends on what you're doing with it. I made a wand for Tammy's Creative Cards and Crafts for her challenge. And I started out making this size, and I don't think that's what I ended up with. Now I can't remember. It was the first wand I had ever made. I'm going to have to go look back and look at my video or her video. You can see I got this off center and I can't really move it, but I could use the other side instead, and I could put something small right there, and then that would be a pretty rosette. And actually, because this is a much lighter color, what I might do with this is maybe ink the edges. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what I will do with this rosette. With any of these 3 rosettes. I haven't decided what I'm doing with them yet. Or not 3. Any of all of these rosettes. Not sure yet what I'm going to do with them. But I did want to show you that you can make a rosette without a die. I know there's a die from Lena Craft. Somebody on AliExpress. There's a die that is much wider, so you can make varying sizes of rosettes with it. Whereas, like I mentioned, with this one, you can only make this size. But if you're doing this for a card, this is the perfect size anyway. I'm going to show you who made me this card. Oh, yeah, check out this card from our lovely Miss Sheila. Look at this rosette. This is 1/2 inch scoring. And very pretty paper that she used. And I don't know like what kind of a die cut it was or what it was before she scored it to make it into a rosette. But isn't that really pretty? And then she's got these pearl, this is like the perfect pearls or something, little drops. You do, it's liquid pearls, and you put little drops on there. I think this card is beautiful, and it sits right where I can see it all the time. And this rosette is so pretty, and you can see this one is lots bigger than these. And it's fun how she put that bow on there, or that satin rose on there. There are lots of different things you could put on the top of the rosettes. This will be pretty if I made something. This is from the Bird Ballad paper that has the Free as a Bird stamp set that matches it. So I could use this side. Well, both sides are from that. These are little bird tracks, the little white marks. So it's probably hard to see on that paper. This one is made from the new sunflower paper that I just got, and I can't remember what it's called. This is the back side of it. And then this one is made from paper that's a couple years old. It's the same paper as this. Retired last year, I think, and it went with the Rooted in Nature stamp and die set. So there's this. These are actually leaves on the back of here, and this is like a wood grain. So that is my take on rosettes. You can make rosettes without a die, and it's a little bit more difficult, but it is not hard. These are not hard to make. You saw how quickly I did that. And making a tree, when I made the tree out of them, I think I did that. I can do a tree in like 20 minutes or something. Depends on cutting and scoring. But so I hope you guys liked this. Let me know if you have questions on any of this. And is that it? I think that's it. So I'll see you on my next video, and have a wonderful day.